Okay, I don't know exactly when this is going to air because this is the end of the world. But I am hoping when you see this, if you see this, that fucking sheriff in Kenosha uh, will be history. Because as I record this, it's been about a week since the attempted murder on Jacob Blake. And just yesterday, I saw this video of that piece of shit sheriff, that white trash redneck going, I've never seen the video yet. I don't know. I can't make an assumption of what the officers did. Um, I don't know. And I want to say something because we're in a very, very dangerous um, position right now in this country because we have an administration that is fueling the injustice and the racist tropes continue on all sides. And we all spend a lot of our time looking at social media and things that are trending or whatever it's called. And I saw this Trump supporter um, yelling at a gentleman of color, going, "What's the matter? White lives don't matter. White lives don't matter. What about our life? What about white lives have mattered only forever, and that's why people of color are still being shit on 400 years later." See, that's what gets me crazy. All of the Trump people, like Captain Marmalade himself, they're filled with hate, they're filled with rage, they're unhappy with themselves, they're unhappy with their lives, or they couldn't be supporting this fucking moron. So when you look at someone of color and you have no idea, can't imagine what their daily life has always been when they leave their house to when they come home, to sit, white lives matter. What that does is that immediately negates Black Lives Matter movement. What it does is it waters it down. This is the same asshole who, if he saw Martin Luther King's speech, "I have a dream," he would have stood up and went, "I have a dream. Can't white people have a dream? I had a dream I was naked at the bowling alley. That was my dream." You see what I'm saying? It's not your dream, and your life matters, but not in the way this does. So, if you're going to be racist, God's sakes, try to be accurate and consistent. Do you know what I'm saying? No one knows what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm probably going to be, someone's going to probably take me out leaving the house. But I don't care anymore because people, and I've read some of the stuff on Instagram. I'm not watching Raymond anymore. I liked your acting, but now I don't want to hear what you have to say. It's so weird how people take that stance with people in Hollywood. We just want to hear you sing or act. If I want a political opinion, I'll ask my plumber or my dentist or one of the. It's funny, they think because we have a platform we shouldn't use it. Well, now we need to use it more than ever because sometimes the platform becomes more important than your craft. So I'm concerned. I'm worried that this shit isn't going to get better for a while. And getting Biden and Harris into the White House, which will be done because you will vote, and we will outnumber the people that don't understand how we are devolving as humans. So we gotta do the right thing and quit saying defunding the police department, because what happens is that scares the white people. And we don't want to defund. We need to reorganize. We need to, like I say, cut the serpent off at the head from the chiefs on down, clean house. We need to have more mental testing, whatever you want to call it. Please help me with my lack of vocabulary for people that become officers, because when you see an officer shoot a black guy in the back 7 times in front of his family, which is trying to kill him, there is a lot going on with that cop. There's something that isn't right. Okay. It's got nothing to do with self-defense. It's got nothing, obviously he's not trying to de-escalate a scenario, which you rarely see, unless it's a white guy, right? There's something wrong with him. This is a guy who never should have come up, made it through the police academy. There's got to be a way. And here's something else. A lot of people in that police department in Kenosha, they knew this guy was a live wire, a loose cannon. They knew it. A lot of people knew he was racist, but they all stick together, right? They all stick, including that fucking sheriff that I'm praying they get rid of. I know a lot of great cops. I know a lot of them. I have for a long time. It's like anything else. You got to weed out the bad. And you have to do that in many different parts of our lives. You got to weed out the bad. It's a very, very tight-knit boys club with a lot of PDs, and we gotta find a way to get through it. And I understand the Black Lives Matter stance on defunding, but here's the bottom line: for Black Lives Matters, for that to work, and it should work, and it's way overdue, it's going to have to become a numbers game. And a lot of white folk are going to have to step up. There's a lot of good white people that are infuriated, that are sickened at what has happened to this country. And they're there to help. And they want to help in any way they can. No, they don't know what you're going through. They will never be able to understand that. But we need to get more people over to this Black Lives Matters movement. You're not going to do it with looting. You're not going to do it with rioting. I understand the rage. I don't know if I understand the looting, because it's really counterproductive to the message you want to send. And when you loot and when you riot, you validate the racists' thoughts and beliefs in the brown and the black communities. You buy into their shit, which isn't true. And then on the other side, you may say, enough is enough. They don't understand when it's done peacefully. Well, they don't understand when it's done peacefully, and they don't understand when it's done violently. But to get those white people over to understand, because we need the numbers, and the white people should be supporting Black Lives Matter. To make that jump, it's got to be done peacefully. And the way it's done in most states. The shit in Portland, way out of hand. It's out of hand. You're losing the message, and you're losing the support. Okay, we're going to. I'm excited because I have a wonderful friend, actor, who is on today, who is going to talk about stuff that he had to deal with as a kid. And he is a Golden Globe winner and an Emmy winner, and one of the stars on Barry on HBO, which is one of my favorite comedies that I try not to miss. And hopefully they'll be back in production soon. So here I am, mid-conversation with the one and only Mr. Henry Winkler.
First of all, I really think you're wonderful.
Thank you.
So
do you know who I am, Henry?
You know, I actually love your work. I'm not kidding. I have seen you so many times. I'm an older person now, and it's hard to remember. There's a family involved. a
Yes.
short Italian woman,
Right. Friends. Friends
some
from Friends.
children.
Yes.
You're a
Yes.
single dad.
No. That's the other show that was.
You have a
canceled.
wife. She's
No.
married to the producer.
Right.
That was that show.
How can I ask how old you are? You look amazing.
I am 74.
Are you really?
I really am. I was born in 1945. So, yes, I believe I will be, October 30th, I will be 74.
Wow. Unbelievable. You look great. Tell us about where did you grow up?
Manhattan, 78th and Broadway.
Wow.
Which is exactly, believe it or not.
Please don't leave. Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
saying right here.
Yes.
Where Hank Zipzer grew up.
Now, Hank Zipzer is the children's book that you write. That is 29 of them. Is that true?
There are 28 of these.
Well, they can't be very good. Who writes 28 books?
No, you know what? They're not. They're actually the first page has, and then the rest of it is blank.
Right. Kind of like my resume.
This is the second grade book, but anyway, Hank. So he goes second grade and third grade, and then fourth grade, fifth grade, and he graduates into sixth grade.
I love that. So why are there? So you would think if there's 29 books, Henry, there's 29 grades.
There are 35.
Are there really?
Altogether, this is our newest one.
I love it.
This is this is the first volume, and the second volume comes out October 10. It's about an alien, who must leave a repressive government.
That's like us,
huh?
That's like us.
Yes, he came here by mistake, but he flies here because his grandmother is the master mechanic for the government on his planet, and at 13 they turn off his sensory enhancer.
Okay.
And then he goes to the only address they know on Earth, Universal Studios.
Okay.
Because who is going to question a rocket ship on the back lot of a studio?
Not me. You know what? That's the only way nowadays I can even get on the lot.
Yes, by rocket.
Yes, by rocket.
Yes.
Now tell everybody because the books are
5, 6.5.
5, 6.5. That's wet, right?
That's
at the most.
That's
okay.
wet.
Okay. You're still not driving, are you, Henry?
What do you mean driving? Not a motorcycle, but a car?
No, a rocket. A rocket.
No, you know what? I'm taking lessons. I'm at flight school.
Now, tell us about Hank Zipzer and how that came about.
I am dyslexic. You never lose your dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
You learn to negotiate it. And there was a lull in my acting career in about 2002. And my manager at the time that I had for 90 days, because Michael Ovitz's company imploded as soon as I got there.
Yeah.
And this manager said, write books for children about your dyslexia. And Hank Zipzer came into being.
Now, how old were you? How did you deal with your dyslexia as a child, and when were you diagnosed with that?
All right, I dealt with it with shame, and I dealt with it covering it with humor. So I became very facile at laughing my way out of shame. And the other part of it, so the humor and the shame, I was always embarrassed. And I started to believe what everybody said is that I was stupid. And what I have learned is that there is 20% of the population has some sort of learning challenge. And they are not stupid. They think differently, they learn differently, but they are brilliant going on in their brain.
Yeah. Now, when you were growing up, did your parents understand what was going on with you? What was
the cutest thing? The cutest thing. I had a nickname growing up. My parents had a nickname for me, dummer Hund. And if you don't speak German, that means dumb dog.
Oh my God. Well, that was healthy.
Brad, they were like flying buttresses.
How did that make you feel, though? I mean, because you have the reputation of being, we know with the Golden Globes and the Emmys and how brilliant and wonderful you are, but you're one of the kindest humans out there, and you've always been that way. How did it sounds like the childhood was difficult.
Yes,
who would call their kid a dumb dog?
I had no sense of self. That is the emotional side of growing up with not being able to figure anything out. What I realized was when I became well known because of the Fonz, I thought, ooh, I haven't grown an inch. Ooh, I still don't know geometry. So being well known doesn't make you better. That's number one.
That's true.
Number two, I so hated. I stole a joke from London Lee. Remember London Lee?
Sure. He was the rich kid.
Yes, he was on the Ed Sullivan show. And I stole a joke from him that when I was in school, I would daydream. I would wish that I would go home and my parents moved and left no forwarding address. Yeah. And I'm saying, look, I'm 74. I have gotten over a lot of it.
How'd you get over it? Because that's tough stuff. How'd you get over it?
That was tough. Here's the decision I made. When I married Stacy in 1978, when we had children, and I was an instant dad because Jed was like a gift with the marriage. He was 4 at the time, 5. I promised that I would be a different parent. And I would always listen to what my children had to say. And sometimes if they, Max, our youngest, he's now a wonderful director. He just, during this pandemic, he sold another script and he's writing it now. But he would stand up, in middle school, he would push his chair in at the dining room table. He would say, please listen and don't say a word until I'm done. And then he would go through grievances. And I would say, that sounds great. We're going to do that from now on. I can't live with that. Oh, can't do that. Why? Because I'm the dad and I said so. You know what? Let's discuss this one. That sounds right. I just want to see how it fits. And that would be the conversation.
Wow. That's an amazing parent.
You screw up no matter what. Let me just say that. No matter who you think you are as a parent, you'll always make a mistake. They will always come back.
Of course.
23, sitting at the same dining room table and go, wow, were you a creep when you did this?
Yeah. It's very true. It's a thankless job.
Yeah,
but we love doing it. How old were you when you realized that dyslexia was what you were battling your whole life?
31.
31?
Yes, my son, the oldest, Jed, he's my stepson. I have to say that his dad is still here, and his dad.
Right.
We had him tested. And everything that they said about Jed was true about me. And I went, oh my God, I'm not stupid. I'm not lazy. I'm not a dumb Hund. I have something with a name.
I can't believe it went that long. So explain to us, what is it like to have dyslexia? Is it a cut and dry type of thing? Could it change from one person to another?
No. It is like an undulating living thing in your brain.
Okay.
And you come up against it you just don't know when. One of my examples is spelling. I have to spell the word schedule and I can't sound it out. I cannot sound it out as many times as I use it. And I have it above my computer on a little cut card.
Okay.
And I have it right up here so that I can look at it, because as many times as I have used it over the years, it's an anathema to me. Patience, tenacity, gratitude. Can't do it.
That is remarkable. So there's nothing that you could do or learn that changes that. So you have to learn how to read differently and everything else.
I read slowly. Slowly, which was really embarrassing when we sit around the table. Even now, reading Barry. As a matter of fact, March 13th, we were reading the new season, the third season of Barry.
Yep.
We were going to come back on the 14th. They called us and said, stay home. There's a pandemic. And I've been pretty much in this room since March 13th. Reading around the table, I trip over words. I try, when I audition, I memorize as much as I can.
Right.
I go in, and when I forget or when I've run out of my memory, I improvise. And they say, that isn't what we wrote. I go, yeah, I know, but I'm giving you the essence of the character. And if I get the part, I'll just memorize it verbatim.
I love that. Do you really still audition? I mean, people.
I auditioned for Barry.
You auditioned for Barry.
I did. I got a call. We were Stacy and I were leaving our office, the office of our business manager. We had just had an estate planning meeting. We're driving down.
Am I in it? Am I getting anything?
You know what? Funnily enough, you're getting my collection of T-shirts.
Oh, okay, that's good. And I want the Fauci pillow that's behind you.
The Fauci pillow is yours.
Okay, that's it. I don't ask for much.
I'm not kidding. I need an address. I expect an address that you sent to the email.
Yes.
Do I know where to send it?
And I'm going to send you my Fauci bobblehead, and it'll be a trade. So but you get this call. Okay, I'm not either.
Eric Sanchez is the artist, and he's got a website. And when I saw it, I just thought I need to have it.
The best.
But anyway. So we're driving down Ventura Boulevard. I can either go to Bee's Bakery and get a black and white cookie, which is...
Grew up there. I grew up there. It's my neighborhood.
It is still the best black and white cookie in America.
Yeah, the best.
Or
Bee's
we can
Bakery.
go. And making that decision, the phone rings. My agent said, they want to see you for a show called Barry. Bill Hader. Bill Hader. HBO. Yeah. HBO, I've never worked for. I've watched Bill Hader, like I'm the fan of.
Incredible. Me too.
Okay, so thank you. And then I asked one question. I said, is Dustin Hoffman up for this part? Because if he is, I'm not going in, because he's a movie star. He's going to get it. They
did
said,
you say you didn't say that, did you?
I did. Honest my God. I said that.
Now, why?
Because it came into my mind because I thought I was right.
Okay. But you were half joking, right? I mean, if Dustin was going to go in, you'd go in anyway, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So they said, no, he's not. I said, okay. So I get the script. My son, Max, the director, is in our house.
Okay.
Thankfully, we go over the script. He is now directing my audition. But like, really, Dad, there is an exclamation mark. Dad, respect.
Really?
You can't just make it up.
Does he know who you are?
No.
Okay.
No, it is. Most of our relationship has been on the phone. He's not really seen me. Okay, so then I go in. Bill is there, and I make Bill laugh. I leave the audition, and then we don't hear.
For how long?
Weeks and weeks.
The worst.
Then Bill calls. He said, I just wrote 2 scenes last night. Would you mind coming in to play? You want to just do these 2 scenes with me? In my mind, I'm going, no, I do not. If you liked me the first time, I don't want to try it again.
That's what I struggle with, and you do too.
I do. I said, okay, of course I do. I go in. I'm sitting in the chair outside the office. He comes with papers. He walks into the office. He said, oh, hi. I'll be right with you. I said, hey, don't take your time. Relax. Enjoy.
Right.
I go in, and now Alec Berg is there.
Yeah.
Who's one of the
writer.
creme de la creme writers.
One of the best.
In the history of television.
The show's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But he also has a reputation of not giving anything away. I mean, his vest is so close to his chest, I think it is tattooed.
Okay. But he doesn't really wear a vest, right?
No.
A sleeveless?
It is a metaphor.
Well, okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So he's sitting there. Now I'm doing the scene with Bill. I make him smile. And, he said growing up, kids would make a joke. Alec Berg, he said they would think, am I Norwegian or on the spectrum? Because he was so.
Sure.
And of course, he lets
He's
me
both.
say Norwegian, but it's not Norwegian. I think it's Swedish, but Norwegian to me sounds funnier.
Yeah. Sounds like he's on the spectrum, to be honest.
Yeah, but
it's okay.
So warm, such a good director. And these two guys run a ship that is like, it's on water that is smooth as silk.
It's got to be. And you can tell. I mean, I'm and I know this sounds so cliche. I haven't missed an episode. We love it. And to see you in it, it's that thing. When you see someone nail something like you do in that show, you go, you can't imagine anyone else doing it and playing it. And you're brilliant.
But you know what? It's written well, and Bill and Alec and
all about the writing.
It's all about the writing. It really is. If it's not on the page, there's that famous saying, if it's not on the page, it's not on the stage.
That's right. Yeah. And now the night you won the Emmy, because I will never forget that, because so overdue. And I know what a great heart you have. And, we worked on Hollywood Squares together.
Yes.
And I'll never forget the way you treated everyone and the vibe on the set. And that always comes from the top. But, you were adored. I mean, in 1974, I wanted to be you. I wanted to be the giant.
I wanted to be that character.
Yeah. Now, how do you, I mean, that to me, one of the greatest iconic characters. I remember in 1974, I went to a t-shirt place. Remember where you can get anything you want on a t-shirt? And they had that big iron with the letters and it was you doing this, and it was the Fonz. And I was so uncool. And I was so bullied because shame, I joked my way out of shame because I was a 6'12" that was not an athlete. And to this day, I'm an incredibly slow reader.
I understand.
And they would make me read in front of the class thinking that would help you. This is how they did it in our day. And it's the worst. And to this day, but I remember getting that shirt and what that meant. And when you audition, like, did you read this part and go, I know who this guy is?
No.
Did you? No.
All I did, and I don't know where it came from, is I changed my voice and I changed my posture. And I'm telling you, it unleashed me. It was like there was a key and the floodgates opened, and the guy reading with me, I think his name was Pasquale. And I made him sit down. I said, hey, don't you look at me. Right. Take your eyes off me. You read your paper. I don't know where it came from. And then I threw the script in the air and I sauntered out of that room. And then 2 weeks later, they called me on my birthday and said, would you like to play this character? And I had a unibrow that they plucked for my makeup test. And let me tell you, it hurt. But I want to say it's true. It's honestly true. My eyebrows used to touch. But I want to say something from what you just said, Brad. You just said, I'm a slow reader too. So whatever our difficulties were, as soon as you said it, I said, yeah, you might be a slow reader, but you're sitting in that chair. I might be a slow reader, but I'm sitting in this chair talking to you. And whatever was in our mind, we went for it, achieved it, and here we are this morning on this day chatting with each other.
Yeah.
That
is a gift to me.
That's got to say a lot to people listening to you who have some sort of learning challenge.
Yes. And that's what I'm hoping this does. How do you keep your gratefulness? How do you keep your humility?
That is the beginning and the end. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is I am filled to the tip top with gratitude. That I made it out of my apartment in New York, that I'm working, that I have gotten better, that I've got a family, that I've got grandchildren. I love my 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And I love fly fishing. You know, even on my little notes, I have a little trout.
I love it. I love to fish. I grew up fishing. I can't do the fly fishing.
Where did you fish?
I grew up deep sea fishing right out of Marina Del Rey in Ventura. I've done love lake fishing a lot in Mammoth.
Yeah.
I tried fly once, and I don't have the patience or the tolerance.
Right.
But that's the real fisherman. When you can fly, there's nothing like. How difficult to really get it down, because it's.
You know what? I'll tell you something.
Please don't show me another Hank Zipzer book.
No, this is Hank Zipzer fishes book.
What is this? You wrote a book on fly fishing?
Yeah. And there are photographs. This is a puddle after a storm in Montana. But
how is it being Jewish and going to Montana? Honestly, do you tell them you're Greek?
Tell anybody.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I don't carry a prayer book or wear a tallis.
What do you do with that tfillin? You put them in the bait vest?
What? I do it in the middle of the night. I figure God is up all the time.
No, not late.
Yeah, no. When we went to temple and on the high holidays.
Sure. What did you pay? Do you remember what a seat cost? Because my Gentile friends think I'm joking when I say we had to buy tickets for the high holidays. It wasn't included.
No.
Did you go through that?
I did. I still do.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I did was I would, because I thought there were so many people at this moment everywhere in the world asking for his attention, I would knock on the chair in front of me and I would say, look, I just need a second. Come on.
Sure.
Just a little.
Right. Did you ever get to a point in your life where you confronted your folks about the pain they caused?
Once. 23 years old. I think I was 23. I was in my parents' apartment. I rented an apartment on 72nd Street and West End Avenue in New York from an actor, Louis Stadlin. $174 a month. A living room, a kitchen, a bedroom, a bathroom. Unbelievable. I went to my parents' house, and it somehow it came up. And I said, I want to tell you something, Dad. You never listened to me. You never looked at me. Oh, yes, yeah, sure. I'm a bad father. Everything I gave you. Oh, and he was playing with papers. He was filing papers. Oh, I'm terrible. I went, oh, the chat is over. I got it. Never went back.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And when you say never went back to that conversation,
I never went back to the conversation.
And did your mom hear any of it? Did she? But she was afraid of your dad.
My mother would. My mother had her own problems going on, and that was a whole other story. When I was in California, I was on Happy Days. All of a sudden, the phone rang, and Mrs. Brown called me. Yes, this is Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Brown, how are you? Yeah, from September. I know who you are, Mrs. Brown. You sat in front of us on the high holidays.
And you used to knock on her chair.
Dinner. I'm sorry, Mrs. Brown. I can't. I call my mother. Did you give Mrs. Brown my phone number? Yeah, it's Mrs. Brown. Mom, I don't want to hear from your friends. I'm not kidding. They should all live in health. I'm having a hard time figuring this all out here. No, it's Mrs. Brown. Mom, if you don't hear what I'm saying, I'm going to pull the phone out of the wall, and that will be that for telecommunication. Oh, come on, it's Mrs. Brown.
Yeah. Right. So all of a sudden, your success is their success.
Oh,
right.
Oh, they became the co-producers of Henry Winkler.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. And look what you came through.
Yeah,
look
but
at this.
Here we are. I'm having a great time.
Time of your life.
Yeah.
And you deserve it.
Thanks.
And you really deserve it.
It really is something. And we're living in this moment in time that is just completely shocking to me. That we're living in a historic moment. And, oh, there it is. I want to be completely safe.
Thank you.
We're living in this. This is the closest I get.
Okay, Henry, those are your underwear, Henry.
I cut them up.
Okay. All right. Wow. You are gifted. That is, I wish I had a pair that large. What are we going to take from this pandemic? What are we going to take from, are we going to learn? This isn't a country that's really learning anything.
No, but you know what?
I'm worried.
What I have learned is what is really important. What, you go about your life and you get a thing and you put it on the shelf and you buy something, you think you've got to do something, and now with it, you just have slowed your life down. You think about what is really important. And I found out I'm a hoarder. I am it's like, I'm amazed there's not like a narrow walkway through papers and T-shirts and hats and.
Well, your place looks very tidy. Did someone help you with that?
I did that.
Okay. What do you hoard most than anything else? Or is it really just everything?
I have stuff where I literally think, and I've had it for 30 years, thinking that I've got a little jewelry box that fits in a nut. It's like a nesting doll of jewelry boxes.
Sure.
And I think one day I'm going to need it. I haven't touched it in 30 years, but I can't throw it away.
Were you raised poor? You had money. You guys were in Manhattan.
We always lived above our means. I mean,
what did your dad do?
He imported and exported wood. He wanted me to import and export wood. And the only wood I was interested in was Hollywood. But they told me I would never get here because, I was so deficient.
I didn't know you had to import. There's not enough wood in our country. Everywhere you look, there's wood.
Woods like ironwood that come from Honduras. It's called, and they build the planks for gun stocks and railroad ties. That's like, indestructible wood.
I don't know how to tell you this, Henry. I think
another thing that we took away from this pandemic is the word vote.
Amen to that.
Wherever you are.
Amen to that.
Your vote is essential. If you never vote again in your life, this is the vote of our life.
Yes, it is. And isn't it scary that it's close?
It's scary. It's scary. What is scary is that all the norms are broken. Anywhere you look to tie up your feelings, that buoy is gone.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. How do you do that?
I don't know how it's happened.
And how do we let it happen?
That's the thing.
I keep thinking, I honestly do. I feel like the brown shirts are breathing on my neck.
What are the brown shirts?
Roving groups of that kid in Kenosha.
Frightening, right? Yeah. Yeah. And you see more and more of these videos that go viral, and you see people. I mean, I'm afraid of a civil war. Do you ever think of that?
I have not completely entertained it,
Right.
but oh my God. You know what I think? I think that this unfettered hate.
Mm-hmm.
I saw I love Twitter. I really do.
Right. Right.
And I saw a woman hanging her baby over the balcony of a burning building. She did not ask what race the person was that was going to catch the baby.
Mm.
I see people on a rooftop. They're either flooded out or they are drowning out.
Yeah.
And there's a boat coming in the distance. I don't ever hear somebody on a megaphone, "What race are you? If you're not the right race, don't save me."
Right.
I don't think I ever hear that.
Right.
We depend on each other.
But a lot don't. And a lot would go, "I can't catch your baby because it's the wrong color." There are people, there's so many. And it's like, we've always known that. But
I have to say,
yeah,
I don't believe if a baby is flying through the air that someone would make, I can't even fathom that someone would make the decision, "Oh, it's the wrong color." Sorry. Okay.
But being Jewish,
yes,
and I'm Jew, as you know, and I have a bad back. I have a bad back. I would need to know the weight of the baby, because if I'm going to catch it, I have sciatica. So I would say it doesn't matter. Just give me in kilograms. I need a window of what I'm looking at. I can't tell you how I adore you. And I know you were forced to do this, because I know you have to stack your newspapers today from 1974.
Holding a spear at a
spear.
Yeah.
Do you collect spears and machetes? You're not one of those guys, right?
No, I leave.
What do you collect? What do you collect? What do you love?
What do I have? I really T-shirts, like I said, hats. From different places I've gone, from every production I've ever been in.
You must have thousands and
thousands. From every talk show. I got nothing from you, but from every...
Just wait. You really collect... Be honest with me. The swag you get, you don't give to the housekeeper.
Boxes. Oh, no. I give a lot away. Yeah. But I do have an extra large in everything.
Why an extra large?
Because that's what I wear now.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you have any triple X's you could send me? Anything from the Donahue Show or something like that?
You know what? The Donahue Show, I did that. Mike Douglas did him.
Mike Douglas
did him.
Merv Griffin.
Oprah got a bag from Oprah.
Oh, remember Merv Griffin? Oh, we got Henry Winkler. He was so redundant.
He was great.
Was he the best?
He was
actor.
The best.
He's a writer. 29 books on Hank. He was the greatest. I used to love him. He hit on me a couple times.
No kidding.
Which was fine. It was during a commercial. He's like, "You ever been to Big Bear?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have a cabin." And I went for it because it was Merv. My best to the family. Real quickly, we know that Max is wonderful and successful. I want to quickly ask about Zoe, because she's an incredible activist, and I want you to plug what she does, because now more than ever,
yes,
I can't imagine this being more important.
All right. So Zoe is the mother of three. She was a teacher, 3 little boys, and she was watching the news, and she saw all those children in cages at the border. And she said to herself, "Oh my God, those could be my children." So she and 2 friends got together and formed This Is About Humanity. and they raise money. There's no office. There are no secretaries. There's no pencil. There's no paper. All that money goes. They get on a bus, and 50 people at a time travel. Not now since the pandemic. No, travel down to the border, visit the children, listen to what they need, see what they need, and Mr. Burkus, who is the designer, a good friend of Oprah's, went down with Zoe, saw that all these people, all these children were crowded into a space with one bathroom, bought the house across the street, rented it for 2 years for these children, moved them in there so that they could live with some sort of dignity.
I love it. What is the name of the foundation, Henry?
This is about humanity. This is about humanity. But I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Don't ever think that all those children that have been torn away from their family, that are locked in there together, have not rearranged the wiring in their brain. And we have created a generation of children who are angry.
Yes, you got that right. And they're going to need some serious help.
And I don't know if by now any help is going to, and who is going to send a therapist to talk to all of these children. I don't think so.
And because of this administration, so vote. So vote. I love you. I thank you. This means the world to me.
But it was a pleasure, Brad. Really.
Thank you. And watch Barry, and I'm saying this, the funniest show, HBO. You'll be back soon. And I wish you.
Are you at the restaurant in New York, Sardi's? Are those?
Actually, I'm waitering now. I'm waitering now at Joe Allen's, and on 3rd. And you're not my only table in a minute. So I'm I know. I'm in a basement, and I'm just waiting for the third wife to, start packing. But it's going good. Things are going to be fine. And my love to your family, and you've brought such joy. Joy you've brought to us on and off stage.
Anybody who is listening or watching, may you just stay healthy, and that we will work through and get a vaccine, probably not by the end of the year.
Yeah. No, I hear by November 3rd, there'll be a vaccine. You get a vaccine when you.
I'm not taking one that is not tested, but hey.
Sure. Yeah. You know what? I will go to the primate clinic on Lancashire and take a vaccine. Anything to get back to Vegas so I can visit my money. Yeah. It's a long story.
To the theater, either the stage or the movies a lot.
I just miss all that. But it's going to come back, and we're going to come back strong. We're going to come back with the new administration.
That's what America does.
That's what we do. We're going to do it bigger and better. And if not, I'll be in Canada. If you need me, I'll be in Canada. Be well, Henry Winkler, my hero. Thank you for this. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. That was the one and only Mr. Henry Winkler. And what a humanitarian, the humanity that oozes out of this man when you talk to him. And he's really, really like that. So all of you other people, you should be ashamed of yourself. Thank you for listening to No Prisoners. Stay well. It's okay to ask for help. And you just saw you can be a slow reader and become a incredible, loving actor and Golden Globe and Emmy Award winner. So hang on to your dreams. And please vote, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.